say right now I don't have proper connectivity of water. I have a seasonal kind of water which is coming in. So I want to control the water whenever it comes. It should not be flooding my farm. It should be coming in the in a specific or controlled way, wherein the water can be controlled. Okay. So what we will do is we'll be studying the the aim of that particular project first. We'll be writing it down on a very detailed basis as to what has to be controlled, how it is to be controlled, and what requires to be managed for what outcome. Okay, just for an example, I'll rephrase the example again. See the problem of untimely rains. So I have a very small kind of plot wherein I have put a paddy, but there is untimely rain just when the crops are ready to harvest. There is untimely rain and everything gets washed off. So what I want is I will be putting in I'll be putting in some frame structures, a simple kind of plastic I'll be putting in all around, and I'll be making it a retractable kind of setup, so that whenever there is an untimely rain, I can just with a push of button I can move my shutters all over the field, and the plastic will be covering the entire thing, and the untimely rain, at least that will not affect my crop. Okay, so this is a simple kind of example which I have taken up. So for this particular aim, what I'll be requiring, I'll be requiring a structure which is a movable structure. I'll be requiring a shade kind of thing, which can be a plastic, which can be some other polypropylene, which can be anything else. Okay. Then I want particular uh, a particular app or particular a particular system wherein I get a weather forecast for it. Okay, so weather forecast has to be the trigger point of moving that particular shades on the crop field, and then integrating it with the uh, with the uh, the weather forecast basically will be triggering the movement of that particular stands or that particular plastic, and it will be protecting my crops. Okay, so this is my aim. So now what I will do, I'll be having uh, a weather forecast kind of inputs which is required. So for that I'll be having a humidity sensor, or maybe see, untimely rains is generally you know uh, the predecessor to untimely rains is heavy winds. So I'll be having a particular sensor which will be continuously giving me a real time data, and it will be the data from that sensor will come up saying that the winds or the speed of winds have increased, there is a possibility of rain. So that sensor I'll have to put at particular XYZ locations, and then it will be providing me the inputs to work it out with the processing and the decision making of when to move the structures for covering the entire crop with plastic. So what we'll be doing is we'll be searching for the wind sensor. Okay, or whatever is the the speed of winds which will be. So now see, I am just going with the non-technical kind of jargon. So let us just for understanding purposes. So now what we will do is, now our aim is now fairly structured, that we need a wind sensor which will be installed in some places, or in my farm, or even somewhere else. It can be some other place also. See, a wind starts, it will be coming to your village much later, but it will be coming to some other village much earlier. So you can install the sensor there. So that sensor has to give some inputs. So that inputs has to be taken for processing, as well as there has to be some app. So now here the usage of AI will help us. There is specification for that sensor. Okay, sensor, the specification says it requires some XYZ inputs, and it will give outputs in terms of some XYZ outputs on from the for these particular two ports. So we'll be asking the AI that this is my sensor, this is my output signal which is getting. So I need to flow this output via Bluetooth or via something else to a particular computer at my home, for example. Okay. So AI now is not limited to the technical people. AI runs basically only on the prompts. So how precisely you give the prompts to AI will ensure the output to your requirement. So this particular thing can be worked out with AI, saying that this is my sensor, I need to move the signal to my this one. So it will say that there has to be a router, there has to be a some SIM card is required, and then it will be connected via Bluetooth or via 5G telecom network or 4G network. Via SIM card it can be sent to your laptop or your computer. So once that reaches your computer, then you have again a different task for AI. Then you will be saying, this is my input, I want to have this data collected every week or every day, and the entire table or entire sequence has to be showed in particular app, and that particular data collection, it will yield in some kind of decision making. So this will be the entire sequence. Now, as per the preciseness of our aim, we will be requiring to break it down in terms of very small workable activities, which we say WBS, work breakdown structures, which can be, one particular activity can be then discretely taken up for implementation or for solution. Like once we break down that there is a wind sensor required, then there is a connectivity required. Say it has to connect with the Bluetooth, or it has to connect with the 5G SIM. Then there is a transmission required. Then it has to come via internet or via mobile to my laptop, to my mobile, and there has to be some app for it. Then the app has to collect the data, process the data, again take some intelligent workable output from it, so that that output can be used for some kind of decision making. So all these things, this entire flow will be very much what I right now put in. But the way the more in detail which you put up your aim, the more you will be able to work it out on a particular one by one kind of activities, so that one by one you can proceed with the resolution for it. So I suppose that
yeah, thanks. This is more elaborative, and
yeah.
thank you for that. And another question is how whether it is affordable to the normal farmers, this technology, IoT and this one.
See, right now, if you see for a long-term perspective and a short-term perspective, okay. If you see for a long-term perspective, see, there is always a trade-off between, investment of capital investment into something which will give a long-term yield kind of arrangement. So there will always be some farmers which are right now having a hand-to-mouth kind of situation. There will always be farmers which are already multimillionaires or already having acres of land. But the thing is, for sustainable kind of agriculture, you need to have some systems in place which will enable you to take some smart decisions. Because right now, traditionally, we have been kind of ad hoc agriculture country. So there has to be some system in place. See, that's what I said. There has to be some unrest in the community, wherein people are looking for some kind of solutions to increase productivity, to increase reliability, to increase, uh, proactive kind of decision makings. So unless that happens in the discussions like we have right now, so this particular things only will give rise to uh, the more and more requirement of such kind of structures to be implemented. See, as of now, there is no awareness in the farmers that this kind of things can be implemented. This kind of things can be worked out. See, as of now, just example I'm giving, the greenhouses has made a little bit of inroads in our traditional kind of agriculture, but again, they are using only for vegetables, primarily, uh, so why can't that be extended to the paddy fields? Why can't that be extended to the basic crops? So the such kind of experimentation, such kind of working around, or some kind of you know intelligent thought process has to be inculcated, or has to be running through in the discussions which are happening around. Because unless that happens, the demand for this kind of things will not come up, and since the demand is not there, the prices also will not come down. See, because the demands of 4G were there, the 4G prices came down like anything, right? So telecom has been one case wherein this particular thing we have seen. So the point is, when there is a demand, then things can be things start rolling. There are manufacturers which are which will be taking this kind of projects of manufacturing the sensors in here, or the structures which can be the routing protocols. Again, see, 5G has been made to incorporate the IoT, but unless this particular sensors and this particular setup is been demanded, then there is no see, there has to be some apps which have to come up. There has to be some sensors which have to be widely there has to be some education for this kind of things, so that people know. And once they are putting up some demands or some requirement, then the costs will come down because the players will get in. So unless that happens, so that's why this kind of discussions are all the more important. So that's what I feel. Ki costs right now definitely will be a little bit on the higher side, but things will definitely change. Is what is my understanding.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Shishir sir, do you have any question?
Plaban has raised a hand, I think.
Yes,
Shishir
Plaban sir.
also has raised a hand.
Plaban sir.
Hello. Shishir.
Yes.
Okay, Sisi sir, you just proceed. After you, I will ask.
Okay. Thank you. As far as AI-based applications are concerned, it is basically concerned with the sensors, right? And
IoT applications are basically working on sensors. AI
Yes.
even more.
Yes.
AI is a even more vast domain.
Yes. So when we talk about the IoT, it is based on the sensor, right?
Yeah.
And as far as credibility of the sensors are concerned, it is of more concern. So how will you look at the applications of AI based on the IoT sensors?
Yeah. See, what happens is sensors. When we talk about the communication protocol from the sensors towards the databases or the processing units, it is not only the sensor data which the physical environment data which gets transmitted. There is also there is also data about the health of the sensor which is being transmitted along with. Okay, like we have crystal which keeps oscillating for our electronic circuits. So there is a signal which comes from the IoT sensors, which along with the physical environment data, which is also captured, which gives you the health of the sensor. Like see, we have 10 sensors put in a farm. Okay. Now 10 sensors out of 10, one is misbehaving. Okay. One is shut down for some reason. Okay. Now we have out of 10, we have only 8 sensors, right? And the 9th sensor is misbehaving. So that data is also coming in correctly, right? So when we have a collaborative kind of conclusion to be made from all this data, these 2 sensors will be giving incorrect data, right? So if you have to conclude, say 100% crops are are healthy, या are ripe, ठीक है, लेकिन 2 सेंसर्स जो है वो बोल रहा है कि राइप नहीं है और एक तरफ का राइप नहीं है. So what indication it gives is a particular area in the field is not having the plants to a required level, or it is not coming up as a ripe condition as the other areas in the field. And there is one more which is giving a wrong data. So it says ki the height is not 15 centimeters, it is only 2 centimeters. So if you come to the averaging part of it, then that 2 centimeters will be creating a wrong perception, saying that when you take the average, every sensor is saying 15 centimeters, this particular saying is 2 centimeters. So average comes out to say 13 centimeters. Now 13 centimeters, now farmer will say there are still 2 more centimeters the plants needs to rise. So he will wait for some more time. Rather, the time has been already ready because the 15 centimeters is already reached. So because of these 2 sensors, the entire data is getting manipulated. So what happens is the health of the sensor, the health of the sensory part of the sensor also is being transmitted towards the processing units, so that processing the entire data also take into account that there are 2 sensors which are giving a wrong data, so I have to take that data out, right? So this particular thing are also worked out. See, being in telecom, that definitely this particular in rather all industrial setups, this kind of backup scenarios are already worked out, wherein such kind of mishaps or such kind of irregularities are already thought of. So this kind of things are worked mostly in this way, that there will be some signaling protocol separately running, and it will be giving the health of the sensors. It will be raising the alarms that there are 2 sensors which are malfunctioning. So you can address that separately. So all this kind of signaling is definitely taken up at the back end along with the physical environment data which is coming in.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, Plaban.
Sir, thank you so much for this nice presentation. Sir, I would like to know, for making any AI agriculture project, shall we focus first on the ERP part, that is UI part, or we have to focus on IoT first?
See, again, I will be emphasizing on the part which I already told to when I was discussing the Madhukar Chauhanji's point. Your aim has to be very clearly, very precisely broken down into workable activities. Okay. So what will happen is, once you put up a aim, like you said, you want to work on a project which is on a you have to monitor a particular farm, and it has to finally give some inputs in the app, mobile app. Okay.
Yes.
So your aim is not only on the sensor part, or only on the communication part, or only on the mobile app part. Your aim is entirely broken down into 3-4 parts. One is the sensor part, another is the routing protocol, another is the mobile app, and another is the application part, wherein you can work on the conclusion or inference part. So your aim will decide where you have to put in your efforts initially. See, your aim is not one part. Your aim is that entire flow should come in my mobile app and I should be able to take a decision, right? So ऐसा नहीं होगा कि आप पहले सेंसर पे काम करेंगे, फिर ही आप कम्युनिकेशन प्रोटोकॉल पे काम करेंगे, फिर ही आप मोबाइल ऐप पे काम करेंगे. Yeah, sorry. Sorry. Yeah. So what will happen is, see, there will be some limitations of flow of information, of or some resources crunch, because see, आपको एक बार आपने एक प्रोजेक्ट लिया तो ऐसा नहीं होगा कि आप यही सीक्वेंस में जाएंगे. See, there are quite few things which you need to work parallelly.
Yes, sir. Okay.
हाँ, तो अभी जैसा आपने इंटरनेट पे सर्च किया सेंसर्स कौन से है, उसके साथ में आप ऐप भी सर्च करो कि ऐसा कोई ऐप ऑलरेडी है क्या जो कि पर्टिकुलर सेंसर्स पे काम करता है. अगर ऐप है तो आपका काम कम हो गया. राइट राइट. देन सेंसर्स पे आप जब इंक्वायरी करोगे तो आप ये भी इंक्वायरी करोगे कि उसको वो ब्लूटूथ पे चलता है या फिर सिम कार्ड पे चलता है, सो दैट आपका जो बीच वाला जो प्रोटोकॉल है कम्युनिकेशन का वो आपका वर्कआउट इजी हो जाएगा. क्योंकि अगर उधर सिम कार्ड लगाना है मेरे को खेत पे, 15 सेंसर्स का इनपुट आ रहा है, सिम कार्ड पे जा रहा है, तो मेरा 15 सेंसर्स के बाद में जो फ्लो ऑफ कम्युनिकेशन है दैट यू ऑलरेडी नो, क्योंकि एक सिम कार्ड आ गया तो मोबाइल पे आ गया सीधा सीधा. राइट.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
So once you define your objective very clearly into small pieces of achievable, workable activities, you can take up individual activity and work on it. ये अभी सेंसर्स ढूंढना है, ये जैसा अभी ये पूरा का पूरा आपने एम बता दिया, लेकिन आपने उसको ब्रेक डाउन कर दिया कि मेरे को पहले तो सेंसर्स ढूंढना है, विंड सेंसर्स पता करने हैं, उसके बाद में वो सेंसर्स का स्पेसिफिकेशन देखना है. सेंसर्स का स्पेसिफिकेशन देख के फिर अगर वो बोलता है कि वाईफाई पे चलेगा तो मेरा खेत पे वाईफाई राउटर होना चाहिए, वो राउटर कहाँ से आएगा, उसको कनेक्टिविटी चाहिए. राइट. सो उसके आगे वो मोबाइल ऐप पे जाना चाहिए, तो मोबाइल ऐप पे मैं सर्च करूंगा. सो यू कैन वर्क आउट ऑन सम थिंग्स पैरेलली. सो yeah, I think this answers your query.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Any more questions? Yes, participants, any more questions?
Contact details of the learned speaker, if he can share,
Sure, sir. We'll share the details, sir.
please.
Okay, so we are really thankful. Thank you so much, sir, for an overview regarding multi-sensor approach for smart agriculture. We are really thankful to you for your valuable time, for giving out such an informative session. Thank you. Thank you so much, sir.
Yeah. Thank you. It's my
yes, sir.
pleasure.
Thank you
Definitely.
so much, sir. It is my humble request to all the participants to please join on time so that we can start our sessions on a timely basis. Thank you, one and all, and
Yeah,
have
okay.
Thanks, sir, to all of
thank you so much.
Thank
Good night,
It's
everyone.
okay to disconnect, right?
Good night.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.